All
All
right,
right.
welcome everyone to our Sunday night. We'll call it continuous learning in District 35. Tonight we are delighted to have Kris Pool, past District Director and distinguished Toastmaster, to share with us in the first of four sessions regarding pathways. Tonight's session will focus on how to connect distinguished club program, club success plan, and pathways. What kind of opportunities they have in common? What can we use all three elements for to become better communicators and leaders? This will be a highly interactive session. Kris will present a education type material, and then we'll welcome questions. We'll have a discussion, and we can discuss any challenges, concerns, enjoyable experiences related to pathways, club success plan, the distinguished club program, or any of those individually. With that in mind, please have a welcome Kris Pool.
Thanks so much, Yuri. Welcome, everyone. I think most of you know me, and I've been around forever 20 years. I'll be coming up on 21 in April. It is amazing the changes that have come through over the years, and even some of the metrics that we have gone through, the different ways that we track our progress. It's all been interconnected, but they have changed through the years a little bit as well. So tonight, we are going to uncover that invisible thread that's going to connect your personal growth in Toastmasters, each of your club members, their growth, and how it connects to the success of your specific club. It's not just about checking a box. It's not about just earning that certificate or the award, but it's understanding how when you achieve your personal achievements, that is what is going to help drive your club forward to continued success. By the end of our session, I am planning for 1 hour, but I have an hour and a half reserved so that if you do have questions along the way, I do want to take the time to answer. If it is starting to be questions that are outside the scope of our topic, we can save that for after the session is fine, or we can set up our own special one-on-one time outside of tonight. But I do hope that by the end of our session here tonight, that each of you has a clear understanding of how your personal achievements is really going to directly contribute to your club's recognition and the overall health of your club. Feel free, interrupt me when we are talking. I don't mind that. Put a question into the chat. I have made Yuri also the co-host of our session, so he'll actually be watching if any latecomers come to our session here tonight. All right, let's see. The big three. We probably already know it, but I want to share a little story before this. A couple of years ago, I, of course, VP of Education, I always try and help my club members plan out what do they want to achieve during the year? How do you actually get that to get it marked on a calendar, sign up for roles, actually complete a project? So I was working with her during the year to get her level 3 completed. For her, it was just another check mark on her journey towards path completion. But yay, level 3 is done. But I was able to explain to her that once she completed that level 3 education award, yes, she got the check mark, she got that done, but that would actually help our club achieve another goal. It would actually complete an education goal. And when she actually gave that speech, we marked it done in Base Camp and Club Central. That pushed our club to the next level. We were at 8 completed club goals. That finished level 3 from that one member, Mary. It pushed us to 9 goals completed. That brought us up to President's Distinguished. She didn't understand up until that point how her personal progress contributed to our session or to our success and the DCP. We get little pop ups here. So when we start thinking about those big three pieces, that's our pathways, our distinguished club program, the DCP, and our club success plan, the CSP. We don't really call it CSP much. It's always club success, but distinguished club program is always DCP. It's kind of weird that way. Anyway, most of you, because I recognize most of you on the call here, pathways. This is our education journey. It is a personal journey that you are taking through Toastmasters. We all know every path is made up of 5
You're
levels.
Right there. You're going back to bed there.
Todd, you're on 2 people, I think, or somebody's going back to bed. So all 5 of those levels, each level is going to contribute and build additional communication and leadership skills. When you take them in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's in that logical sequence. Not everybody does it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your very first speech has to be the icebreaker. Your very last speech is that reflect on your path to complete the level. You can do any of the other projects in any order that you want, and that's okay. If you are working with a member, if this is your first time on a path, I do recommend you go in sequence. It makes the most sense. You're building on previous skills that you have worked on. But when we really start to look at the projects, the work that's included in each of these through each level, it's not just busy work, and it shouldn't be looked at as busy work. This is real practical exercises that it's not just for in our club, it's everywhere outside of our club as well. The DCP, our Distinguished Club Program Goal. This is how Toastmasters International, that's how they measure our club health, our performance. It's a metric, it's a scoreboard. If you are competitive like me, you are checking out there. Where is your club compared to where you were a month ago, compared to another club right now? Hopefully, all of you are familiar with the DCP. There are a total of 10 specific goals across 4 categories: education, membership, training, administration. It's scary sometimes how it is just ingrained in my head. I can just rattle this stuff off in my sleep. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you never know. I'm weird, I'm unique, and this is my talent, apparently. But every person in your club helps contribute to the different goals in that DCP. And then we have our CSP, that Club Success Plan. The Club Success Plan, this is your roadmap. At the start of the Toastmasters year, July, August, September, by the end of September, the club officers should be meeting, they should be setting the goals, assigning responsibilities, and planning different activities throughout the year that's going to help your members achieve their personal goals, achieve their professional growth, as well as helping the club achieve those DCP goals. Whenever you complete a project, you complete a speech, it's something that the club officers should have anticipated, and it has already been worked into and added into that club success plan. A little bit different way of thinking how these 3 kind of work together. So here's the big connecting the dots. Just kind of that recap. Your pathway goal. You complete a level 1, that contributes towards a DCP goal. That goal, it was part of that club success plan, which helps the club meet their planned targets. One club's members' success feeds into the club, which feeds into the district and the Toastmasters' success. Each one plays a part in the other. I'm going to take you through. Yuri suggested that I give some real life examples. Last year, I was president of Sheboygan Toastmasters, and that's where I'm taking a lot of this information now. Last year, and I'm pulling the data from today, a year ago. So we started in July 2024, we started with 14 members. That was our base number. And we knew we had to be at 17 members by the end of June 2025. Between July and September, we gained one new member. So that was one goal. Whoops, we had the 15, and we completed one goal by the end of September last year. When we look at the dashboards, this is the performance report. This is that distinguished club program that every single member has access to, whether they know it or not. But when we look at what we have completed in those 3 months, we completed that administration goal. That administration goal actually had a 2-part process to it. You had to submit your club officer list to Toastmasters through Club Central on time, meaning it was submitted May of that prior time frame. So even though this is our 2024-2025 dashboard, our officer list for the 2024-25 year was submitted in the 23-24 year. So that part is always done before that Toastmaster year even begins. The other part of that administration goal is the dues renewal. Dues renewal, we know it comes up twice a year. The club, you only actually have to have that minimum 8-member renewals submitted to TI, only one of those renewal timeframes to get the credit for it. So we have achieved the minimum 8 by the end of September last year, 2024. So we completed that administration goal. You'll also note that we have 0 education goals awarded, but we do have 1 new member. So that's a good thing. And you can see that all 7 of our officers completed the summer training. So yay us. Let's fast forward now another 3 months to the end of December. Now we dropped from that 15-member number down to 14 members. But yay, we completed 2 more goals. One of the things, especially if you are an officer of your club, you want to do those check-ins. Where is your club? Where are you on those dashboards and your metrics? How does that compare with what you set up on your club success plan? Is something going on? If we haven't achieved any goals by December after 6 months, why? Why are we not achieving education goals? Why are we not being able to get at least 1 new member in? Start taking a look at where you are in the progress for your success for the year. When we break down our dashboard, what did we do? Well, now we actually have 2 completed education awards, that level 4, level 5, or DTM. That one is done, check. And then we had a second one done, check. So that's 2 completed goals. But when we look a little bit higher on our list, those level 1s, we actually need 4 level 1s, so 4 specific members to complete a level 1 education. We have 1 of those 4 done. We have none of the level 2s done. And then we do have 1 member who completed a level 3. We need 1 more level 3. And we gained another member, woohoo, and then we still have our 7 officers trained, and we still have the administration. Winter training. So by the end of December, our winter officer training, we just finished our summer, but we're already thinking, I should specify that, I'm already thinking about our winter training, November through February. So last year, November, December, we had 3 officers attended training by the end of December. So we had to at least get 1 more officer trained by the end of February. We want to hit that minimum of 4. When we look back in our club success plan, though, we planned for all 7 to be at the winter training. All right, moving ahead, let's move up another quarter to March. We gained 2 more paid members. Yay, we are almost at that minimum membership number. We have to be at 17 members, 17 paid members by the end of June. And if we do, we are already at 7 completed goals. In order to officially be select distinguished, though, We have to achieve that minimum membership number. When we start looking at the dashboard, our details, we have 7 completed goals. 4 of the 6 total education goals have been completed. So we have 2 out of the 4 level 1s done. 2 out of the 2 level 2s completed. That is a check. The second 2 more level 2s, nobody else has started into that. But we have the 2 level 3s completed, check, and we already had those level 4 and level 5s for the check. We are now up to 4 members, 4 new members. That's a goal. If we can get another 4 members, that would be another goal, which would be awesome. Now, March, we have our training, our winter training is all done. And yay, we got all 7 to attend again, and we had our administration goals. So we had the 7 goals by the end of March. We still have April, May, and June to go. We have time for more progress. So now we are at the end of our Toastmasters year, June 30th, 2025, and whoo-hoo, yes, we made it to select distinguish. I was so excited and so happy. I was not sure we were going to do that, but we hit that membership requirement number, which meant we had that net growth of 3, and we jumped up 1 more goal. I was excited, 8 out of the 10 goals. That is phenomenal for our club. We had our 17 and our 8. When we start looking at this, we did not receive, nobody earned any more education goals from March through June. And that's okay. We had 4 out of the 6 still completed, but we gained 4 more new members. That's huge. And that's what tipped us over into that 8th completed DCP goal. Without members in our club, we are not going to achieve the success that we have done this year. We have the proof, these metrics. This is the proof that we are doing what it takes to be helpful to our members, to help our members achieve their goals, which in turn help our members, help our club reach our goals. All right, so that was 2024, 2025. Now let's start looking into this year, 2025, 2026, 3 months in. If you have not been out to the dashboards yet this year, they have changed. This is what the top of your dashboard page looks like now. Whereas before, whoops, let me get to it. This is what it looked like last year. And now it is changed to this. So it's a little bit different when you are looking at it. Just what the heck is this? And if you go into your club success plan, this same image is going to be on this club success plan page. So that's something new. I didn't realize that until earlier today when I was going through and practicing a little bit of my information here. When we are looking at this new overview of the dashboard, we can see that the club success plan, this is now a requirement from Toastmasters. In the past, it was always encouraged to do the club success plan. It's that roadmap. It helps you to drive where you want to go for the year. It is now a requirement to become a distinguished club. So we have those green check marks. If we hit distinguish, select distinguish, president's distinguish, or Smedley distinguish, we have met that requirement. The membership number. So we still have to meet a minimum membership requirement. For us, we have to go here at Sheboygan Club. We have to gain 3 new members. We have to have that net growth. And for those of you not familiar with that terminology for net growth, it's not just necessarily 3 new members, but if we were to lose any members, we would have to make up for that loss and still have 3 more members. Also, yes, Alan. Yep, there you
So
go.
the question that I have, Kris, is the net growth on
Mhm.
3 more members. Is that because the club has a base less than 20? Or let's say my base is 24. Do I need to be at 27 by the end of the year?
Yes and no. I'm going to say it that way for you. If
Okay.
your club is already at 20 or more members, you have to maintain that level of at least 20 members for the distinguished, select distinguished, and president's distinguished. If you want the Smedley distinguished, you have it's a higher number that you have to maintain. And I don't remember if it is, because it's going to vary for each club. I want to say don't quote me for sure on this one. I think it's 25 members at that minimum for the Smedley distinguished. I'll have to check and clarify that and get back to you.
So if I may add, Kris,
Mhm.
feed on or another question. So let's say I'm at 24 base, start
Mhm.
of the year, and I end the year at 24, but I did get 8 new members, but 8 members didn't renew. So I had net growth of 0. Am I
Yes.
still distinguished because I'm at the 20 or higher?
You're you met that membership requirement. So yes, that part you
Okay.
would have reached. If you got 8 new members, that's technically 2 of your 10 goals. And
Right.
now, provided that you have reached those other goals as well, you would be a distinguished club. One of those first 3 distinguished. That Smedley distinguished, that's that new one. You have to have the higher level number of members, and you absolutely must be at the 10 goals completed.
And
That's
10 goals. Okay, thank
and
you.
10 goals. So that Smedley distinguished, this is a much higher level for a lot of clubs for them to try to achieve.
And
Not
was that
saying that you
something
can't.
recently added?
It
I
was
remember a couple of years
introduced
ago,
and
I
it
never saw it.
nope, it was introduced through this last year, but it is taking effect July 1st, 2025.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So this is new, yes. All right, let's see. And then for your goals, we still have those 10 DCP goals. We've already achieved 2 of those goals, so yay. I don't know how or if we are going to get to the 10 this year. I think we were only planning for maybe 9 when we did our club success plan. I think we were planning for 9 because one of the education goals we would not be able to meet when we were planning. All right, these are my numbers. This is my dashboard today. We have 2 completed education goals. So we've got that level 4, level 5, and this is weird verbiage change as well. So it used to be a level 4, a level 5, or a DTM. It is now specifically a level 4, a path completion, and or a DTM for this goal completion. So the difference between a level 5 and a path completion, the path completion, you've completed levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but you have to complete reflect on your path. If you don't do the reflect on your path speech, you do not get the credit, or that member doesn't get that credit for their entire path completion. So that's another little bit of a change that has to happen. We, right now, total of 4 level 1s is what we need. We actually have 1 already submitted. Level 2s, we need 2 level 2s submitted, and we've already got 1 out of those 2. And then we have that level 4, 5. It's going to be difficult for me to change my verbiage. Level 4, path completion, or DTM. We've got both of those done. No new members, but we are getting 2 new members tomorrow night. Yay. They came and visited us last meeting, which was this past Monday, and they are bringing their dues and their applications tomorrow night. I'm very excited about that one. We did have all 7 of our officers attend the officer training, and then we have our due, or we have only 5. I just checked. We only have 5 of our 8 minimum renewals for September due that have been paid. But we would push tomorrow night. That's when we were going to push for the big repayment for that. Yuri, your hand is up.
Yes, Chris. Kind of a quick question on this path completion piece. Well, it sounds to me then that is important for the club officers to be aware that when a member submits completion of level 5 and say the VP education approves it, that somewhere there needs to be communicated that that's not going to check off this education goal number 5 in this case. That same member needs to be reminded that they still need to do another speech goal to reflect on your path. Only after they do that reflect on your path piece will they officially complete the path, and that's when this check mark will show up. Given this change in wording, I can see where there might be some confusion, but that's where the communication knowledge of the Distinguished Club program can lead to avoidance of that confusion.
Absolutely, yes. And it's interesting that you brought that one up. So our president this year, Kevin, he actually completed his level 5 about 6 months ago. And I have been on him to get that reflect your speech done so we can actually get that credit. He finally submitted it. He actually did the speech, Reflect on Your Path, this past Monday night. He still has to log back into base camp and now submit that he has it completed. So we're on a wait time frame right now, but I'm giving him a pass because he's out in Yellowstone on vacation. But he knows he has to do that. When we, as the officers, met this year and we planned for our club success plan, that was one of the things right away. We knew he was going to have to finish that one up this year. That was his personal goal for doing this. So we planned a lot of what everyone is going to do for the year already. When we do start looking at who has completed what, how do you show recognition for your members, for your club? What do you guys all do? Guys, gals, ladies, gentlemen, what do you do in your clubs for your recognition? Susan.
For probably the last 5 years or so, we've been printing off the certificates. So as VPE, I print off the certificate for the level or for the path. I give it to the president, and the first thing before we start the official meeting is to recognize people. They come up and they receive their certificate.
Very nice. Barb, you had your hand up?
Yeah, we do the same thing. We print off the certificate. I have it laminated at the beginning of the meeting. We present it to them and have a celebration. Plus, we throw in some kind of food, cookies, or
nice.
So we eat we want to give education awards every meeting, so we have food every meeting.
There we go.
All about the food.
Tony, did you have a thought or?
Yes, the question I have is, do you get in touch with the local television station, local radio stations, or set it up so people can join the club remotely just to see the celebrations taking place? And hopefully the whole meeting in addition to that.
I know our club does not. Any of your clubs? No. Barb?
I have a thought. Couldn't we go live on Facebook on our Toastmaster group page and just record it, right? Go live?
We do a live, yes.
That'd be easy.
So for our club, we don't print off the certificates, but every meeting we announce who has completed a goal or an award since the last meeting. So we do that verbal recognition, and then we do post something out on our social media then. So different ideas of what could be done. But I'm liking that idea with Tony and Barb then. See, this is why I love when we get together. We bounce those ideas off of one another because maybe this doesn't work, but hey, when we add in this part of it, this could be something huge. I love the Facebook Live. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, yes, I have the wind on me, the window's open, but I got goosebumps just thinking about that one. I'm excited about that now. Is everyone familiar with the reports that are available to them on level achievement ribbons are also available from the TI store? Yes, absolutely. Or you can get the little pins too. The dashboards. Has everyone been out on the dashboards? Do they know how to get to them? Yes, 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 yes. All right.
Yes.
And then you are familiar with the daily reports that are available out on the dashboards. Okay, I'm seeing at least one no. All right. So when you are on your dashboard, your left-hand column, you have another list of menu options. If you click on daily reports, you get a page, and it's not this specific page yet, but you can actually choose from a drop-down list of about 9 or 10 different reports. I always like to go into the daily reports for our education achievements. You can sort by the club member or the club name or a specific member name. This one, I organized it by our Sheboygan Club. These are all the education awards submitted and achieved since July 1st. So we've got Dave Schmidt with his level 2. I've got my level 3, 4, and 5, and then Mary just submitted for her level 1. So this is always a good one to quick glance of who submitted what and achieved something since the last meeting. But how does this now play into your club success plan? Has everyone submitted and done their club success plan for the year?
Yes.
All right. So get busy, because if you can get that in by tomorrow, you get an extra incentive from the district. But that the district dollar should not be the reason why you do this. It's just you want to do this. The requirement from TI, you have to have it submitted by September 30th. I have been trying for Sheboygan Club to submit the club success plan since the end of July. I finally got it to go through last week. I have tried clearing my cache, clearing my history, tried 3 different browsers. I've had 4 other officers. None of us were able to submit our club success plan. We could download the entire information. All of our action items were in there. But when we looked at the club success plan, the education was still showing that it was never started. But if you went into edit, almost all the information was there. I think I had to retype stuff 9 different times. And I just very frustrated. It was a glitch from the TI system. It finally got through. All of us officers, whoo, we celebrated, hallelujah, because we wanted this. But when you start, so once you've completed that club success plan, you want to go back and look at it. When I went in then this afternoon, looking at the education portion, this is the information from that daily report. Mary completed her level 1. The club success plan, we've got a couple of different things going on here. Let's see if I can do a, so we have this, So over on the right-hand side, we've got that 4 of 4 with the check mark. That means that as the club officers, you have entered into the club success plan 4 members who are going to probably complete their level 1. So now when we're looking, it breaks it out. What has been completed? What is projected? So Mary was one of our 4 and she completed her level 1. But we have projected that by the end of June, John, Morgan, and Rick will all complete the rest of the requirements for a level 1. All 4 of those people combined, that is one specific education DCP goal. When we look at the second and the third DCP goals, those are all related. We need 2 level 2s and then another 2 level 2s. Dave Schmidt, he's a past district governor, so that was the name before the district directors. He completed his level 2. We had planned for our first level 2 DCP goal that Dave and Mary were going to complete level 2. Mary can now start in on her level 2 project work. She is working through her path. This is her very first path. She is planning to work sequentially through every level. We also planned for that second level 2 goal. Larry is going to be able to complete his level 2, but right now we don't have any other members who are close to completing a level 2. So when we chose the members initially, it was who could potentially complete this without a whole lot of extra work. So I know some people, they can, if they just plan it out, they'll complete this fine. But others, we know realistically, they're going to complete 2 speeches during the whole year. So we don't necessarily plan on them completing these awards. Level 3. So I did a level 3. We planned that myself, Ann, and Dave, different Dave, would all be able to complete a level 3 project. So we've got that 3 of 2 in the upper right corner. I've completed the 1, and we got Ann and Dave for the other 2. Level 4, I've got mine submitted, and that's what we planned for as this goal. But now we've got the next one, another level 4 path completion or DTM. I've submitted mine for that level 5, reflect on your path, that's all done. Evan still has to submit his completion, and Mark should probably finish. This one is interesting when I'm looking at the information. So we've submitted 3 of 1, but it's not showing any name under completed. But we are showing the 2 names under projected. Where is my name? I don't know. So a little bit more digging is going to have to happen into this that I did not have time for today. Yuri.
Yes, on this topic, Kris, what it sounds like is, if I remember correctly, when filling out the club success plan, what we see is the projected, but it sounds like somewhere within the club success plan, and please clarify if I'm incorrect, this completed section shows up, then it's like an update to the plan we submitted, and it's something that's done kind of automatically, and it is definitely something worth looking for and also worth knowing when with the club officers, which makes it even more important to review the club success plan periodically to refer to it as the year progresses.
Absolutely, yes. So hopefully as officers, minimum of twice a year, you should be looking at your club success plan, but even more often than that. Where are you, how are you progressing? I'm going to quick log in because if you're not familiar with what club success plan looks like, I want you to get a feel for it. So for those of you not familiar, if you're a club officer, welcome your name, come on down to my home, and then you are into the section where you can click on for getting into your base camp. But if you keep scrolling down, that's where you're going to see your option for Club Central. On here then, if you come down under the club management, this is where you have your club success plan. Come on in here, and you just get to wait a moment because it has been working slow. I don't know if it's just my computer or the TI system. But when we come in here now, we are seeing that, I want to make sure I'm in the right club. It's not specifying which club this one is for, but that's okay. We'll find out. Okay, so this is Cream Cities because I know that because it says Kathy Shine in here. But when you come in, that whole top part of your screen, this is what the top of those dashboards will look like. So we met our requirement. We got the club success plan in there. Our base is 17 or 18 members. We need to get to 2 more members. So then this goes back to your question, Alan, then. For that Smedley, do you need 8 members? So Sheboygan needed 8 members. Cream City only needs 7. So you do have to be at 25 members. That's the number for the Smedley Distinguished. And then you have to have the 10 of 10 goals for Smedley Distinguished. When you keep coming down then, so we've got 100% for each of the different sections of that club success plan. If you come in under edit, or if you do your download current progress, so now as we keep scrolling down on here, we've got it planned out who is going to be completing different education goals. And then what are our strategies? What are our tactics? This downloaded form is not going to have that up-to-date progress. That's not going to show on here. But if you come back and you come into the edit part of it, so you have to come into each of those 4 parts of the Distinguished Club Program goal. That's where you will start to see what the progress is being done. So for us, we had projected 7 of our members to complete a level 1. Now this is Cream City Communicators, and we've got 2 already completed. So Chris, me, and Cassandra, we've each completed a level 1 this year since July 1st. Level 2, we've planned for 2 out of the 2. Cassandra has already finished hers. I am still need 1 requirement to hit mine. Level 2, we need to have 2 more members, but we plan for 3. Level 3, planning for 2 members. 1 has been achieved. 1 is still going to happen. Level 4, I've already got mine submitted. And you're probably thinking, how does she keep having all those level 3, 4, 5s done, but she hasn't done a level 1 and 2? I will explain. I usually work in multiple paths. And as soon as I finish a path, I will purchase a new one and start working on it. So the end of last year, I was finishing up my, had 1 or 2 requirements left for a 3, 4, and a 5. Finished those in July and August and submitted them. That's why my clubs are showing 3, 4, 5 completed. Now I have to start my new path. That's where I'll get my level 1 and level 2. So that's me. That's how I work. All right. So that is where you can check what your status is. If we find out, let's say that Melinda ends up not renewing, so we can come in and adjust our information. So on this left-hand part of the screen is where we have all of our club members, and we have check marked them in blue. That's how, if they're in blue, they end up on that right side of the screen for our projected. And so if we were to take Melinda off, I'm just going to uncheck it. She will disappear from our list. If I add her back in, now she's back in here. That's how easy it is to do your editing and make your updates. If you get a brand new member joins next month and they are gung-ho, they're going to complete level 1 and level 2, you want to get them added in on your club success plan. I am not saving anything that I made there. Okay.
Ellen, question from you?
Yes.
Ellen?
Chris, on the club success plan or how it integrates, does it matter whether the path is one of the 6 supported ones, or does it take all 13 paths that are out there?
11 paths. So it will support the ones that are no longer available for purchase. It supports those initial legacy pathway paths. Those you actually have to do some extra work to get those awards submitted though. I just had to work. So Dave
Right.
Schmidt, that level 2, he finally finished his level 2 from the very first path that he got 7 years ago. How
Okay.
we had to submit those for approval a little bit different. So it took me a while to remember how to go through and get the submission and get it approved. But yes, those will still all count. Going forward, you can only buy those 6 paths right now. And those will be the only new ones. But if somebody is working on a path prior to November where they dropped it down to the 6, absolutely that will count.
All right. Thank you.
Anything else right now? Okay. So just a reminder, the recognition, Facebook Live, check your DCP, your education reports before each meeting, announce it at every meeting. And here's one we didn't talk about. As an officer, as a fellow member, send a little congratulations note, whether it's through email, if it's through the feedback in Basecamp, send an actual letter in the mail, a little thank you note, congratulating them. Sometimes that extra little kudos that they receive is what can energize them and motivate them to get to that next level and keep going. So keep that in mind. All right. Are you all ready to start doing some thinking? Oh, wait, Barb. I'm seeing all of you off to the side, so that's why it takes me a little bit.
I have a question about when people used to complete paths, you could send it to their employee or their
employers,
boss.
yes.
Can we still do that?
You can, but it's only for levels 3, 4, and 5.
3, 4, and 5?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions right now? Tony?
Kris, I have a question. This gets involved with registration of paths and the responsibility of a member. Member
Okay.
can speak, but if they don't follow through and do all the steps required to register the speech, they don't get credit for it.
Correct.
What type of approaches can a club take to assure that members get credit?
So this is actually one of the things that we had discussed with our Sheboygan officers, that we are going to plan for maybe like a 3-minute pathways promotion or pathways tips moment, and just remind members how you get logged back into Basecamp. What do you need to do to finish marking a project complete? How do you mark that you have held a meeting role during a meeting? If the officers are sharing with the members what the DCP is, what the CSP, the Club Success Plan, and how they each individually contribute towards that, so that they understand the connection, that might also help them to be more open to going back into Basecamp more frequently and make sure that they have it entered. We've also offered that, because we have maybe 4 of our members, when they attend in person, we all have our laptops with us, that we'll let another member log into their account with us right there. Because if they are not as tech savvy sometimes, just having somebody with them can give them that confidence of, this is where you need to go, click here, check there, now you're set. Or when they want to start a new project, getting logged in, open up the information, because you don't have that manual to flip the pages, but you still need to be reading the project information. One of our members, he does some computer stuff, but he'd rather have the printed manual, which is no longer available. Between myself and 2 other members, we rotate and we print out the entire project information for him. So he actually has all the printed projects for level 1 and his level 2, that he can work on it on his own. Then he meets with one of us then to actually get it entered into the system. Okay. All right. Yuri.
Yes, Kris. Would you please share me one strategy that clubs can use when working with members who are still, for whatever reason, are still not as warmed up to pathways, from a standpoint of encouraging those members to see how, despite whatever hesitation they have, despite that, how if they can complete a level one, they do help the club get closer towards being distinguished, work through their club success plan. What's something you found can work to get that person to get past their own reservations and make an effort at least to work through pathways to support the club and of course develop themselves as a leader, no matter how old the person is, no matter if they had experience in the previous program, just standpoint of working through it from and helping the club achieve their goals.
It all comes back down to that education. We have to educate our members. This is the education curriculum. This is what they have to be doing. We do have one member in our club. She will never complete any path. She's not registered. She did her icebreaker back in 1982. Why should she ever have to give an icebreaker again? She doesn't see any value in that. But she'll, every once in a while, she'll give a speech. She participates in the table topics. She is there for the social aspect. So we still try to accommodate that with her because that's meeting her needs. She is not interested in any education awards. I don't think she knows or cares enough about for the club to achieve goals because that's not her focus. But that's just that one member. We as the officers and the rest of the club understand that. We have another member. He is convinced he is still going to earn his DTM. And we want to encourage him, but he will never achieve it. There's no possible way with the decline in his cognition that he will ever be able to sponsor a club or mentor a club or coach a club. We know it will never happen. He has good intentions. He wants to learn, but he can't remember one meeting to the next. I tried to work with him. It took over 3 hours to get him to be able to figure out and log into his Toastmasters account. We work with him as much as we can, but there are aspects he will never do this. It's just not possible. We have other members. They are very interested in giving the speeches, learning the program, learning about the different projects. They sign up for things. They just, forgot I got to go into base camp and marketing is complete. So those are the ones we just kind of bug a little bit. And where we came up with this idea at our first officers meeting with our club success plan, offer to do all of the logging in the base camp after the meeting is done, before you head out the door. Let's help you walk through and mark it all complete. And having and letting them know that we have that extra support for them, we are hoping it will encourage them to keep moving forward. And we also plan this year too to show more often where we are in those dashboards, where we are, where the members are in how much they have already completed, what do they still need to complete yet. So making a little bit more transparency in what is done. Oh, you're welcome, Alan. Does that answer your question, Yuri?
It does, and I understand a lot of it has to do with even some of the personal psychology, which could be its own topic and a future date. But I also understand, recognize that there are individuals who are still members. They still contribute to the overall enjoyment. All that perhaps that some of the goals may need to be achieved without their formal participation, but that does not take away the value they bring to the club in any way.
Correct. Correct. And two, one of the things we actually did a membership survey. We created our own, and we did this separate. We're not going to do the moments of truth this year with our members. We've done moments of truth, and we always end up with the same information, the same idea. So we changed up our focus. We wanted to know what our members were most interested in for them. Are they interested in leadership to the next level? Nobody is. Yuri. But the main things that people want more of was the table topics, the practicing impromptu speaking. That was the number one across the entire membership that responded. They want more practice for those table topics, those impromptu settings that they can use at work or when they meet other people. So we've been trying to incorporate a little bit longer table topics session in every meeting. So we're trying to adjust to make sure that we meet their needs at the same time. Again, happy members achieve their goals, we achieve our club goals. All right, are you all ready to do some work here? I'm going to see if this works. So I want you, how many people do we have on here? So 10 people. I want you to plan what is your completion. What is your goal? What are you planning to complete this year? And if you do, does it result in a DCP goal? So if we only have 2 people do a level 1, that's not a DCP goal because you have to have 4 level 1s in order to get that goal. So on this page here, hopefully all of you can have access to the whiteboard. Let me see if I have to activate anything or not. Let's see. Whiteboard, here we go. Oh, I don't want that. All right, this part isn't going to work properly for me, so that's okay, no worries. I'm just going to put you all on the spot then. Tony,
I have a couple of questions. I tried to open up a whiteboard and I got the message that there's a whiteboard already open.
Yep. Yeah, the whiteboard, I didn't play enough with that one. I still have to figure out how do you do that. So we're just gonna have you verbally tell me, because you should be still seeing the level completion, the slide, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Anthony, Tony, what do you plan to complete this year?
I've already completed all 6 levels in the persuasive influence path. The question is which club is going to get credit for it. I belong to multiple clubs.
Okay, so then if you've completed one path and you're in multiple clubs, what is your next path going to be?
Well, I've signed up for the mentorship training program above introduction for mentoring. And I've also signed up for the club coach training.
Okay, which both are excellent, but neither of those count towards the education for the DCP. Because here's an inside tip. So if you're going to be a club coach, you will probably be speaking at that club that you are a club coach with by another path, because if you're giving speeches, you want to get the credit for it.
What about speeches outside Toastmaster meetings? One of the things we're looking at for Cooley Region Toastmasters is going out to Rotary meetings and presenting speeches about Toastmasters to Rotarians.
Yes.
What's required to get credit for speeches out at Rotary meetings as
You need to talk with your vice president education. Make sure that they know you're giving a speech outside of Toastmasters, and they just need to give approval. Hey, Madam VPE, I'm going to give a speech next week, Thursday, over at Rotary. Is that okay? Yep, Tony, that works for us. We're good to go. When you do, so that's all the approval that you need. But if you are giving a speech outside, you do need to have either another current Toastmaster who can attend to give you an evaluation, or record the speech, or at least 10 minutes of the speech, have another member watch the video and provide that evaluation, because it's the evaluation part that you need to help finish up that speech project.
Does that also apply to members of a club who appear on radio talk shows and give presentations about Toastmasters?
If they are, it should. The thing when you are to think about when you are giving outside speeches, is it meeting, look at a project's objectives. Are you meeting different project objectives? Or are you going to get just a generic evaluation? So what are your strengths? Where can you improve? What are the challenges from the future? How's your eye contact, your vocal variety, the content, the interest to the audience? You should still make sure that you are meeting those different types of criteria. If you give a speech and it's not for a specific project, because, oh my gosh, they just asked me to visit this other club, I can give a speech off the top of my head, but I don't have a project in mind for it. I'm going to get a generic evaluation. I can slip that generic evaluation into any of my open slots that I have in my path. When I do that, though, I don't put that in for usually my level 4 and 5 projects, because those are often ones that take a lot more preparation for. So I think it's level 3, my little cheat sheet on my stuff. So I think it's a level 3 is, there's one focus on the positive. That's actually a 2-week journaling session of your feelings, your emotions, what's going on during the day, and then you report out how did you make a connection between what was happening, what you were feeling, how you could change your perspective and put that into the positive. Frequently, I find that members just read the topic of what that project is, so focus on the positive, and then they come up and make up their own information of what they think that project actually is. You have to read the details. Let's see. Create a podcast. It's not just one podcast. You have to have a full hour of content on a podcast. You can do one 1-hour session, or you could do 1, 2, 3, 6, 10-minute sessions, or any combination, but it has to be a minimum of 10 minutes on that podcast. I'm not going to just drop in a generic evaluation for a 10-minute speech into create a podcast, because I know the effort is not in there for that amount of time. Thank you. Managing a difficult audience, though, that doesn't need a whole lot of prep. That one can be, all right, Ellen, you're going to heckle me. Susan, you're going to try and talk over me. Yuri's going to argue every single point with me. How do I deal with those people? That's managing a difficult audience. And it's extra difficult. I had to do that project. The project says that once the difficult person talks and I address it, they're done. I did this at a club out in California. They decided that they're going to keep heckling me and interrupting and being a difficult audience for the entire length of the speech. And they were so amazed at the end because every single time anyone was interrupting me for whatever reason, I incorporated it. I addressed them, but I incorporated it into the presentation somehow. Don't ask me how. And they were just floored at how I was able to do that. But I had read about that project, I think 5 times. I've completed all 11 paths. I've completed actually 18, 19 paths overall. I do this repeatedly every time I get a chance. And I know that there are members, I'm not saying it's any of you, I'm just saying members in general. Why do I have to repeat my level once? That's stupid that I have to redo an icebreaker. Every time you repeat a level 1 path, you are reinforcing those basic skills. You look at piano players, you look at musicians, you look at athletes, they go back to the basics, because if they ever lose those basics, that's it, they're done. You have to keep practicing it. So I love it. I have so much fun with these, because how can I look at it, how can I be creative in a different way? Or I'm just, I can't think of anything right now. So I'm just going to do this level 1. It was a speech I gave 3 years ago. I still have the slides for it. I'm going to go to a different club. I'm going to go to a club on the other side of the country, present it there, because they've never heard any of this before. So I'll incorporate and do that. I visit other clubs all the time. Alan.
So a question then on a strategy. I often tell people that they can do as many projects as they want in level 3. If 5 of them are interest, do all 5. Is it your opinion then that they should do the minimum and get to level 4 and do the minimum, get level 4, and then come back to another path and do it again?
It's up to the individual person. They can do all of the elective projects,
Right.
but they only get the credit for the 2 electives and the 1 requirement. So it's going above and beyond. It's for their personal growth. It doesn't help the club at all. So it's their choice. And sometimes it's dependent on the situation where they are. Now we got coming up in October, we've got, the Halloween themed meeting, and we're going to do, this and this. And oh my gosh, I already finished my level 3, but I really want to do that effective body language because I'm going to be the monster. It's that perfect setting for some of those extra projects. Go for it, because every extra project that they do, it is learning and developing new skills. That's what it's about, that personal growth as well.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, Susan, what are you going to accomplish this year?
I will be finishing a level 2. I've already
Okay.
got a start on it. I'll be finishing that. And I should be finishing a path. So I'm kind of up in the air in that, because it depends how much time I have to prep it. Because as you said, those further down the line projects require a little bit more work. And so I'll definitely have a level 4 or a level 5. Don't know for sure if I will get to the reflection on either or both. But the 2 will be in the bag.
All right, good. Carl, you've been quiet there. What do you plan to accomplish this year?
Level 2, level 3, and hopefully complete a path.
Okay, so level 4 and 5. Okay, fantastic. Nancy.
There we are. Sorry, I've been visibly absent.
That's okay.
I will be completing a level 2 first, and then also in my second path, I'll be doing a 2 and a 3.
Perfect.
My goals.
Barb. And we're practicing our lip reading right now.
I'm completing 2 different paths. I have
That
2
one and
more
that one.
speeches to give to wrap up 2 more, and Then I'm starting a new path and I'll finish 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
That's where I am.
Okay. Ellen, did I ask what you're going to complete this year?
Yeah, I talk too
Ellen,
much
what are you going to do
anyways.
this year?
Well, I've already completed level 3, but I haven't marked it as completed yet. I'm
Okay.
one away from completing level 4. And that's kind of where the question is how many projects do I do
Okay.
before I mark it? Well,
Okay.
in the level 4, I just have one project left,
Okay.
and I'll do that one. And in my second path, I am one speech away from completing a level 1. So I'll get that done.
All right. Fantastic. Yuri.
Based on my what I have right now, probably a level 3 and perhaps a level 4 in the level 3 in one path, a level 4 in a different path, and maybe even shoot for path completion. Yeah, right, those things.
Okay. All right. So we all have some plans of what we're going to do. Everyone except for Tony right now, I think, is going, and Tony's thinking about this now. How does what you do for your personal development, your growth of what you want to do, how it fits into that club success plan and your DCP? So start thinking a little bit more. A couple years ago, I was traveling, I was speaking all the time. I kept buying more and more paths, and I completed 32 levels in one Toastmaster year. But it still stands that I can only give one, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 to one club. Between that whole year, I joined 6 different clubs so that all of them could receive a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Several of those clubs I talked with, because I do not recommend this, but I talked with them ahead of time because I planned this out. All right, it is the beginning of March. Dues or renewals are in April. I'm only going to join your club for 1 month. So you can get 5 of those level completions. Every single club, there is a strategy in my thinking behind it because they needed 1 new member. So that completed 1 goal. And with all my education, that put them over the top for everything as well. So it was helping them, but they understood I wasn't going to continue with that club. Although for all of them, I still continue for another 6 months visiting them frequently because I couldn't just let them drop completely. And I still go back and I visit so many of them. I'll just pop in. I'm here and oh, Kris, can you do this or this? Absolutely. But that's me, my style. Not recommended for anyone else to do that. Ellen.
So when you join the club, do you register for another path? And if you don't renew, does the path somehow stay with you if you were to join someplace else?
The path is always yours. The path itself is not bought because it's for Cream City or for Sheboygan or for Summit Seekers. This is my path. I'm giving, so normally when I complete a path, I have gone to maybe 15 different clubs to complete all of those projects. Well, I belong to 2 of those 15 clubs. None of these other clubs are going to get that credit. So when I start out, I am planning, all right, my engaging humor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goes to Sheboygan Club. I'm going to finish up motivational strategy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at Cream City. But I may do the majority of those projects flip-flop for the clubs or whatever. Okay, so that part does not matter. We are at 8:16, and I know I said for an hour and that if people wanted to stay, I think everybody's been enjoying the conversation or anything, but I want to know so that is technically the end of the presentation. Todd keeps dropping in and out on me. And I was at the point now just for more Q&A. Your choice. your time here. If you want to continue staying on until 8:30, I am more than happy to stay here and answer questions. We can all share ideas. If you do have to leave, I understand that. Although the Packers aren't playing, so I don't understand why you'd have to leave. But my husband has been outside the entire day. He has the Red Zone channel, so he has the big TV outside, and then he has 2 little laptops, so he has specific games on. He's in his heyday, so. Barb. Thank you, Kris. Barb, you're taking off. All right. Go get your success plan submitted. All right. Alan, question.
So Yuri started off the meeting saying this is one of 4 sessions.
Yes.
What about the next 3? What is the plan for that?
So those are going to be Pathways 101, Pathways 201, and Pathways 301. So we're going to continue. Those are going to be on Thursday nights. If you go out to the district website calendar, it will give you the times and the dates. For those 3 sessions, I don't remember if it's the same Zoom link as this one tonight, or I know those 3 sessions are all the same link. 7 o'clock to 8:30 again, planning for the hour, but half-hour overage. And what do we have planned for? Hang on, let me pull that up. We actually had kind of planned out what we were going to do for each one and build progress on each. So the first one is going to be on September 25th. And that one we are going to talk a little bit about using the navigator as a resource, understanding your options in Basecamp, purchasing a path, Yuri just popped it in there, starting and launching a project, review the content, the speech log, marking it as complete. If your club uses free Toast Host, how you can use that to track some of your progress as well. So that's going to be Pathways 101. And then the next one is going to be in October. That is going to be October 9th. Man, I got a lot going on the 9th. Also 7 to 8:30. October 9th, that's the day I'm going to do that 6:45 a.m. early bird rotary. I am reaching out to a friend of mine down at the Random Lake Library because she's been wanting me to come and do a presentation to some of the homeschooled kids that day. And then I'll have this in the evening. So the 201 session on October 9th, be proactive, start looking at the future projects and what's involved in them. So if you do have something that takes that longer time frame, there's things that you can do today that takes 6 months. You can do part of that planning project now and give that final speech come April. Brainstorming potential topics so that you can meet those different objectives, starting a speech journal, keeping track of your own progress outside of Pathways, because keeping track through Pathways is a little bit awkward. So I actually have my own little tracking spreadsheet, because now I know at a glance what I have to actually complete for dynamic leadership. I know you can see this so easily here.
How do you come up with documentation of everything you do? When some evaluators don't always provide the written evaluation form.
So if they don't always provide the written evaluation, because I keep notes, if I'm doing it on Zoom, it usually records it. I keep my notes as I'm listening to my evaluation. And then if they don't provide that written evaluation, but I encourage them to, even if it's just typing up the notes, they don't put it into that specific evaluation form. I still want just, the written ideas and information. And this is where some of that integrity for our Toastmaster values come into play, that you don't have to show any completion record to your VP of education anymore. For those of you pre-pathways, we had manuals. The last page in there, you filled out what your speech title was, your date, your VPE initialed off, because they would look in that manual, read, yep, you got an evaluation, they would sign off on it. We don't have any of that anymore. So it comes down to that integrity of, that you received the evaluation, that you have it, that you can mark it as complete.
But there are some clubs that record every meeting.
And some do, yes.
But the problem is getting the space in the cloud gets very expensive, or can get expensive. What approaches have other clubs taken to reserving the space in the cloud?
Get it pulled once you have the meeting and you've got the recording, pull it out and put it onto your own computer space.
But that
whenever I record, I could record it to my computer. I don't put it out to the cloud.
Okay.
This is actually on my computer, and then I can pull this into YouTube or whatever then.
But you have to clip out just the portion where you gave the speech. Otherwise, you've got the whole time,
Correct.
time for the whole meeting.
And that's where you use networking, and you have friends who know how to edit and can just pull out that one speech. That's how that works. I am not that friend. I don't know how to do that. I have friends that I contact.
There's a premium right now for many clubs in terms of having meeting hosts and having a Zoom master at meetings. How do you get that when you're how do you acquire people with those skills if you have a relatively small club?
Talk with them, find out if they have the skills, and if they don't, find someone who does to train them. We're Toastmasters. We communicate. We need to start talking to other people. This is what we need. Who do you know that could help us? And sometimes it's not, I need you to come and be our tech master. You have to join our club. No. Can you come in and do some special training for us so that we can learn how to do it for ourselves?
And is there a special recognition that you can give to someone who comes in as a tech master or a tech master?
There are no official Toastmaster roles for a tech master or anything, but as a club, you can make up as any awards that you want, any recognition that you want. We've done that. We do year-end awards, or we used to. I just went to the dollar store and I bought little trinkets for everyone, and then I made a story for them. So I had one person, he got what did he get? He got a Route 66 picture because he drove an hour and a half to get to our meetings and an hour and a half to get home. So we used the Route 66 guy because he drove freeway a lot.
And then in Wisconsin, there are two Toastmasters who are also very active in the Wisconsin chapter of the National Speakers Association, mm-hmm. Gina Glover and Paula Houlihan. How do you get them to help with the club and help?
How do you get NSA to help, or how do you get Gina and Paula to help?
Gina and Paula to help from the standpoint of how to make meetings more attractive to a broader group of people, and even make them attractive to professional speakers who want to use it as a lab.
Reach out to them and ask them. You got to call them, because your reason for wanting them to come in and talk to your club is going to be very different than me calling and asking if they would come to present at my club. We have different needs and wants for having them there. So you have to reach out and do the ask.
And how does a club set itself up as something that can complement what's taking place through professional associations? For example, the Rural Wisconsin Health Cooperative has training in communication, speaking, and leadership. It's done in workforce and workshops. And there'd be a natural complement.
Find out what, who's in charge of their training programs, What kind of trainings do they offer? Is it a one-time? Is it an ongoing? What are their costs? This is what, call them ask for an informational meeting. You want to sit down, talk with them a little bit. How can we as Toastmasters, this is what we have to offer. How can we help supplement what you are doing, what you are teaching? If you have your employees, your staff, your members come and join our club, this is what they will additionally receive. This is how they're going to learn. This is the extra, 300 competencies that they can develop that they can then bring back now to your organization.
Then can I ask one more question? In terms of when I talked to a couple of friends of mine who are educational administrators, they're talking about a common problem they're experiencing with new teachers. A lot of the new teachers are shy, have a problem communicating or presenting to a whole classroom of students. And their question is, how can Toastmasters help that? Or how
how you present what the club does. So you're getting up regularly. You are speaking in front of groups of different sizes. You are practicing that impromptu speaking. Regular practice is what helps the improvement. They do have to make that personal commitment, because if I'm just going to sign up and now I'm amazing. No, that's not what Toastmasters is. I had other organizations, paper copy, paper member, you still get, the credit for everything, because some of those organizations, you're not personally benefiting. Toastmasters, if you don't participate, you don't benefit.
or it's
my
like
opinion.
Go to the Society for Human Resources Managers meeting or meetings. If you speak to them, you're going to hit a whole series of human resource managers at one shot rather than having to talk to them individually.
Yep. And just, and give them, what are the benefits of having their employees be a member of Toastmasters? This is part of that training to help them to, get to the promotions, to do the presentations, to be able to train other staff, improve their confidence. These are the skills that are needed in the workplace. But if they're not able to understand, you have to help, you got to connect the dots for them.
And sometimes
everything that you do in Toastmasters, you can do outside Toastmasters.
And sometimes it's a hierarchy of meetings and speeches you have to give to get through the audience you want to contact, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and each group that you try and pitch to is going to be different. That goes back to our Toastmasters project of know your audience. All of it ties in together.
Has anyone, sorry,
Alan, why don't you go?
If I may, Kris, these next 3 sessions on pathways.
Yes.
Tonight was, I think, more targeted towards officers. The next 3, do I communicate that out to my members and say,
those
hey,
are going to be,
come here?
Yes, the next 3 were more for the membership. This one tonight, kind of more for the officers, but regular members would still benefit from tonight. But yeah, the pathways, the 3 pathways ones, definitely we want to get that out to the members.
Excellent. I'll tell them the best pathways teacher is presenting, because you are. Thank you, Kris. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. Enjoy the week, all.
Thank you.
Or Alan, everybody, I don't know if everyone else is leaving yet or not. We are at 8:30, so you're welcome, Carl.
Thank you so much, Kris.
You're welcome, Tony. You take care now.
You too.
All right. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.